Beginning. The grand court of Zelvaris shimmered beneath a dome of crystalline glass, its ceiling reflecting the swirling cosmos outside. Dozens of alien envoys from across the galaxy waited, silent and poised, within the Hall of Worthiness. They were adorned in the silks of their homeworlds, glittering with gems, feathers, and bioluminescent scales. They had all come for one reason: to win the heart, or at least the political favor, of Empress Aurelia, ruler of the United Zelvaran Imperium. She sat atop her obsidian throne like a living statue, 8 feet tall, wrapped in golden armor lined with quantum-threaded silks. Her 4 eyes glowed with icy blue light. She was beautiful, terrible, and utterly untouchable. And she was bored out of her mind. The latest suitor, a prince from the Vrathi dynasty, knelt and recited poetry so flowery it could will to star. When he finished, he offered a crystalline rose that pulsed with radiation. Aurelia blinked once, then lazily waved her hand. Guards escorted him out. He would not be seen again. Her chancellor leaned in. That was suitor number 10,432, Empress. 10,432, she echoed, sighing. The galaxy's most ambitious males, reduced to simpering fools. Shall I cancel the rest of the list? No. Made a vow. 1 suitor a day until I find one worthy of my time, or I die of boredom. At that moment, the doors at the end of the hall creaked open. A lone figure entered. He wasn't glowing. He wasn't 10 feet tall or made of molten stone. He was human, wearing a plain jacket, boots scuffed with red dust, a backpack slung over one shoulder. He looked around like he'd wandered into the wrong room. The court gasped. Aurelia sat forward for the first time in days. Who are you? The man scratched his head. Daniel Carter. I'm here about a delivery. Silence. Middle. Daniel had no idea what was happening. 1 minute he was dropping off mineral samples at a Zelvaran outpost. The next, someone scanned his ID and said, "The Empress will see you now." He thought they were joking. They weren't. Now he stood before the most powerful woman in the quadrant, surrounded by aliens that looked like nightmares and art installations. Delivery. Aurelia repeated. He shrugged. Yeah. Cargo ship Orion's Bane. We had a shipment of iridium glass. Guess someone signed it to the palace. The Empress studied him, her 4 eyes scanning every molecule. You are not a suitor. Definitely not. You have no offering. He blinked. I've got some protein bars. Another collective gasp. Aurelia rose from her throne. Leave us, she commanded. The entire court, ambassadors, guards, nobles, froze. But your eminence. Now. Within moments, the chamber was empty. Daniel remained rooted in place. Okay, he said. I feel like I just stepped into a soap opera. Aurelia approached, her gold-trimmed robes flowing behind her like liquid flame. You are the first being to enter this hall without an agenda, she said. That is intriguing. He snorted. I was just trying to make a delivery. Precisely. She circled him slowly. No gifts, no flattery, no ambition. He held up a finger. Correction. I'm ambitious. Just not about marrying space royalty. A smile curved her lips. Fascinating. You show no fear. Should I be afraid? Aurelia leaned in. Always. That day, Daniel left the palace with a strange feeling in his gut. The Empress had asked questions. Hundreds of them. About Earth. About music. Food. Art. About what it meant to grow up on a world without crowns or emperors. He answered honestly. When he returned to his ship, a message was waiting. From Palace of the Empress. Subject: Summons. Daniel Carter. Your presence is requested at tomorrow's banquet. Dress code: flexible. He almost deleted it. But curiosity won. The next night, he arrived in his best outfit, which sadly was just a clean shirt, and found himself seated beside the Empress at a table the size of a soccer field. Dignitaries from every sector whispered and stared. Cerelia poured him wine herself. You didn't even ask why I summoned you, she said. I figured you'd tell me if you wanted to. She laughed, a deep, rich sound that startled the nobles. You're delightfully unimpressed. You're just a person. Say that again in front of my executioners. See what happens. They talked all night. He didn't realize it, but something rare had happened. The Empress was enjoying herself. Over the next few weeks, Daniel became a regular fixture in the palace. At first, people assumed he was a curiosity, a temporary pet like a novelty. But then the Empress cancelled 3 scheduled suitor auditions in a row. And during the next trade conference, she interrupted a 6-hour mineral negotiation to ask Daniel what he thought about pasta. Whispers turned to murmurs. The great Empress Cerelia was interested in the human. No trials, no gift, no dances of diplomacy. She simply liked him. One day, she found him alone in the garden, staring at a holographic koi pond. Do you know why the suitors fail? She asked. He glanced up. Because they try too hard. No. 'Cause they seek to win me. As if I am a mountain to conquer. And I'm what? A casual stroll. You are a man who speaks to me as if I matter, not as a title, but as a woman. Do you not find me intimidating? I do, he said honestly. But not in a bad way. Silence stretched. Then she reached out and touched his hand. Simple gesture. But in Zelvaran culture, it was equivalent to a confession of deepest trust. I could name you consort, she said. He froze. Wait, like, officially? Yes. Don't you want someone more impressive? I'm just a guy who drives a cargo ship. Exactly. He blinked. You're serious. I am Empress of 1,000 worlds, Daniel. I have wealth, power, and armies. But I have never had someone who made me laugh. Someone who challenged me to be real. You didn't try to win me. That is why you have. Ending. The formal announcement broke the Galactic network. Human named consort to the Empress of Zelvaris. People rioted, debated, celebrated. The other suitors. Most retreated in shame. A few tried to challenge him. One even issued a duel. Daniel refused. Cerelia vaporized the man. Next time, she said dryly, try sending a gift basket. The wedding was held in orbit above Zelvaris Prime, on a station built from rare crystal and lunar ore. Billions tuned in. Cerelia wore armor carved with ancient glyphs. Daniel wore a custom suit that made him look almost noble, until he tripped over the steps. She laughed. Again. Their life together wasn't perfect. Daniel had to learn Zelvaran etiquette, which involved memorizing 80 hand signals and surviving a week-long fasting ceremony. In return, Cerelia agreed to try Earth food, though she never liked ketchup. But in each other they found what they lacked. She gave him purpose, adventure, and a front-row seat to the universe. He gave her honesty, warmth, and a reason to smile in a throne room of glass. 10,000 suitors tried to become her mate through power, persuasion, or pride. Only the human, who didn't try at all, succeeded. Prologue. Years later, when their daughter asked how they met, Daniel leaned back with a grin. Well, he said, I walked into the wrong room, and your mom never let me leave. Cerelia chuckled beside him. Incorrect, she said. You wandered into my life, Daniel. And finally, someone got it right.